Hello everyone, I'm Derek. Welcome to There Will Be Cars. If you're not familiar with my channel, I review new vehicles that manufacturers send me, and I bring you my driving impressions. So there will be trucks, there will be SUVs, and of course, there will be cars. This time around, there will be a van. This is the 2022 Toyota Sienna Limited. I usually get a whole week with the vehicles that I review, but I've had a very abbreviated amount of time with the Sienna, so I'm going to keep things short and sweet and show you some of my favorite highlights. Let's start with the front row. You've got all of this space down here. My fiance loved it because she could easily throw her purse down there without worrying about it. And right here, you've got all these controls for the drive mode, EV mode. I especially love the brake hold feature, so you don't have to keep your foot on the brake at stoplights. I go through a lot of stop and go traffic, so this is always nice to have in any vehicle. Here's another thing that I really like about the center console in the Sienna Limited. The fact that Toyota uses a good old-fashioned simple shifter with defined gates. You know, they didn't try to get too fancy with it. It's old school but effective. Got this storage slot here. I can keep my wallet there so I don't have to sit on it while I'm driving. Cup holders here, cup holders there. This right here is the best of both worlds. So you've got two individual armrests, but you don't have to flip anything up to get to the storage compartment. And you just hit that button. As you can see, it's pretty deep. You have some charging options there as well. I appreciate how these controls are laid out. It's a nice intuitive structure there. And then there's this large center screen up top. These buttons could be bigger, but they get the job done. This rear mirror camera gives me a completely unobstructed view of what's behind the vehicle, so I don't see any headrests or rear bodywork, just what's around me. This can be useful in parking lots or when I'm backing up, but it's especially helpful on the highway because I use the mirrors, of course. I have the assistance of the blind spot monitoring system, but I can also look at this to see if there's anybody zooming up on my left or my right. And then there's this command center at the very top. So I have the button for the power rear liftgate, and then I can power open both side doors as well. Got the sunroof controls there, and then lighting options. As you can see, there are a lot of horizontal surfaces that you can store small things in. Little trays, one here on the left. There's a little bumper right there to keep stuff in position there. And then a wireless charging pad. This also has boundaries on the left and right to keep your phone in place. There's a lot to like in the front row, but I think I like the second row even more. So I'll start off with the key fob. You can see, got the unlock, lock, panic button, power rear liftgate. But these two buttons right here allow me to get to the really good stuff. So I'm gonna hold this down. Driver's side door power opens. Press this one. Get some nice cross ventilation there. If you don't feel like using the key fob, you can wave your foot under this little Wi-Fi looking symbol here, and the door opens for you. And as you can tell, there's long tracks in the floors so that these can slide forward and back. These are all the way back. And then this is a nice little feature here. So you got not only a fold-out footrest, but you can also extend this. So I'm gonna put that in action and show you what it looks like. So I've slid this seat as far back as it'll go. It's actually butting up against the third row of seats. As you can tell, I got a lot of leg room here. And I've got the driver's seat adjusted to my height and preferences. So let's see about this footrest. Lift up on this, pops up. Now I'm going to extend the footrest. Okay, so the idea is great in theory. It's nice to know it's there, but clearly this is meant for shorter people or little kids. I'm average height, I'm 5'10". I'm not the tallest person in the world, but yeah, I'm not really getting the full benefit of this. I'm getting support right here, but not under my feet, not even close. But as it is, I have the seat fully back and my feet are bumping into the front seat. If you're in the second row and you need to close the door, you can either pull on this handle or just hit this button. And that brings me to another cool feature about the second row. These manual side sunshades block a little bit of the sun while you're driving around. On the other hand, if you want to let some air in, you got a power window, although it doesn't go all the way down. Here's another cool detail about the second row. You have this low mounted grab handle, but then it extends up to the top as well. So you've got coverage high and low. And just like up front, you have two individual climate zones in the second row. So at least the people in the first two rows can tailor things to their liking. Here's another cool thing about the back rows. For bored kids and adults alike, there's an entertainment screen that's coupled with a pair of, in this case, factory fresh wireless headphones and a remote. Now I'm going to get into the third row to show you how much leg room I have back there. As this second row seat is positioned, it gives me enough leg room and a comfortable recline angle. But what remains to be seen is how much space I have in the third row. So I'm going to leave this seat as it is and go down the center aisle here. Foot stuck. All right, there we go. Okay, so I got a little too generous with the recline in the second row, so I'm gonna back that up a little bit. So I've moved the second row seat up quite a bit, but I still have enough leg room here. And I've moved the seat back up as well, just to give me a little more breathing room in the third row. Let's see what that did. Okay, back in the third row, and this is more like it. You know, I can push my feet forward a little bit. My knees aren't touching the back of the second row seat. So it is, with a little compromise, at least for somebody my size, possible to sit behind myself in the second row and the third row. There are two cup holders back here, as well as a headphone jack with volume control on both sides. Now let's take a look at the very back of the Sienna. Just like with the side doors, all you have to do is wave your foot underneath and the door opens for you. Great if you've got your hands full of groceries or sporting equipment or things like that. And as you can see, the rear seats are up right now. That frees up some space at the bottom here. But if you need flat load space, I'll show you what you do to put these seats down. Of course, you start by taking the stuff out of the bottom there, and then just take a look at these handy instructions. So it's a two-step process. You start by pulling up on this handle, and the great thing about doing this is it also lowers the headrest to save you that step. Pull on this, pull the seat back, fold it down. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of a gap right there. All you have to do is just flip that into place. You've got that extra coverage. I'll go ahead and do the same with the other side. As you can see, the headrest is up right now. Pull on this, flips it down, pull it back. Gentle push, flip this out, and you're set. This really came in handy when my fiance and I needed to take this to the airport. We had two large suitcases, so just put the seats down, had plenty of space. To get the seats back up, you use this handle again, move it forward, Then you grab this strap labeled 2, you pull back until it's at a recline angle that you like, locks into place. I'll do the same on this side. Pull number 1, goes into the first position, and then get it right where I like it with the number 2 strap. And there you go. Only catch is, if you want the headrests back up, you have to do that yourself. Thank you for watching my quick look at some of the cool features inside the 2022 Toyota Sienna Limited. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you're not a subscriber to There Will Be Cars already, please go ahead and become one. I really enjoy bringing my reviews to this channel, and I hope you're here to see the next one.